So you're thinking about moving to Newport, Rhode Island? Well, in today's video, we're gonna give you an overview to help you better understand this area. So here we have the map of Newport, Rhode Island. Now, even though Newport, Rhode Island is small, it does have a lot of different neighborhoods. So if you've never been to Newport before, or if you plan on moving to Newport, I wanna help you better understand what to expect out of each neighborhood. So here is the Newport Bridge right here. So the majority of the traffic comes off of the Newport Bridge. Now, one of the first neighborhoods that we'll highlight is the Point section. So the Point is right here. What people love about the Point is, one, it's very easy to get in and out of Newport. Even during the summer months, it's a very quick ride to the Newport Bridge. Over here, it's very walkable to downtown, so you can easily walk to Thames Street, but it has a very, very private feel. In a lot of my videos, I talk about the Point having kind of a Charleston, South Carolina feel. Everything over there is fixed up. They have gas lamps on the front of their front porches. It has a very historic feel to this neighborhood right here. So for somebody that's looking for walkability, but also privacy, the Point is going to be a neighborhood that you may consider. Now, next to the Point is a very up and coming neighborhood known as kind of Upper Broadway. So Upper Broadway is just next to the Point and is really divided by America's Cup right here. So Upper Broadway, I have said multiple times, is seeing the most appreciation in Newport because that area is still up and coming. What makes this area great is it's walkable to Broadway. So here on Broadway right here is the revitalization of Broadway. So over the last 10 years, they've put millions of dollars into this area where there are restaurants now, there are clothing stores, and people like living in the north end of Newport or Broadway or Upper Broadway because they can walk to Broadway because it really acts as its own Thames Street. Now, on the back side of the neighborhood, you have the Cape Catherine neighborhood. Now, the Cape Catherine neighborhood, what I love about this neighborhood is a lot of the homes tend to be a little more spread out. It's a neighborhood that is well maintained. Again, this is the Cape Catherine area. This neighborhood is well maintained and there's good sized lots there, but it's on the back side of Newport right here. So you can still walk to Broadway and you can walk to Thames Street. So a highlight of this area is the homes are beautiful. It's not as private, in my opinion, as the Point because a lot of traffic has to go on Spring Street, back out of town. But the Cape Catherine area is an area that is walkable, beautiful homes, well maintained. Now, another neighborhood that a lot of people are interested in is right here, which is the Eustis Ave Old Beach neighborhood. Now, what's taken place here on Eustis Ave is a lot of developers have come in and started buying up the one-level homes or the raised ranches on Eustis Ave because of the water views on Easton's Point and the views you get of First Beach. Now, this area tends to be very private. What you'll find over here in the Old Beach Eustis Ave neighborhood is that a lot of the tourists or a lot of people that come to Newport, they don't really venture out into this neighborhood because it's on the back side. There's really no reason to go into this neighborhood. Now, I will say that Eustis Ave and Rhode Island Ave are pretty well-traveled streets. The reason why they're well-traveled streets is because people coming off the Newport Bridge or people coming down Route 24, they use these streets right here to get to the other side of Newport. So that's one thing I will have to say is Eustis Ave is fairly busy and Rhode Island Ave. Now, one particular neighborhood that people really love is going to be right here, and that's Historic Hill. So Historic Hill is right behind the Viking Hotel. What people really like about Historic Hill is the ability to be able to be close to all the action and literally roll down to America's Cup or roll down to Thames Street and leave their car exactly where they parked it. There's no need to move your car. You park in Historic Hill, you leave your car, and it's walkable to everything. It is going to be a neighborhood that has more action because people that are walking up from this area down into Newport, it's going to be a path that they do travel. So you just keep in mind, you have to be somebody who really prefers not to have a lot of privacy, but somebody who prefers to be in all the action. Now, on the other side of Memorial, which is right here, you have the Cliff Terrace neighborhood. It's not really defined as a neighborhood, but this neighborhood people like because it is private and you can easily walk to First Beach. The Chandler Hotel is right here. So people that own in this area, they'll walk to the Chandler, they'll walk to First Beach. There's a walking path at Eustis Pond. So they enjoy the ability to walk to some of the best attractions of Newport, but also they can go up Memorial and walk into town. So the Cliff Terrace neighborhood. Now, another neighborhood, I told you there's a lot of neighborhoods. Another neighborhood is the Yachting Village. Now, the Yachting Village is basically it's downtown. But the thing to the Yachting Village that most people don't realize is parking over there is like gold because the streets are super tight. It's super busy over there. And the ability to park becomes very difficult in the Yachting Village section of Newport. So if you're somebody who has maybe a larger SUV, or you're constantly going grocery shopping or coming out or running errands, it is really tough to get in and out of the Yachting Village. But hey, if you want a great property that you can rent out when you're not here in the summer, or you have a property that you like to be on Thames Street or as close as you can to Thames Street, the Yachting Village is something that you will consider. Now, right next to that, another neighborhood is Bellevue Avenue, probably one of the most well-known streets, in the US. So this is where all of the high-end home sales take place. $15 million sales, $30 million sales, and why people buy over here, not only to have a piece of history, but also most of the homes in this section are gated. So somebody with wealth, that wants privacy, you are going to be looking in the Bellevue Ave neighborhood. Now, Bellevue Ave is well traveled because of its popularity. So mixed in with the private homes are the mansions, the Elms, the Marble House, Rosecliff. So they are main attractions. So in the summertime, you are gonna face a fair amount of traffic if you own real estate on Bellevue Avenue. Now, if you were to follow Bellevue Avenue down, now we have a neighborhood called Ocean Drive, or we call it the Ocean Drive neighborhood. Now, Ocean Drive, pretty much every house on Ocean Ave over to Harrison Ave has water views. So that's what makes the real estate prices very, very expensive over here. Now, what I will say is that if you're buying at the lower end of Bellevue, if you're buying here on Ocean Ave, Ruggles Ave, and also the 5th Ward, getting out of town is very difficult, especially in the summer, because you now then have to backtrack all this way to get to the Newport Bridge. Even if you're backtracking out of this way, get to Memorial and go out this way, you still hit a fair amount of beach traffic right here every single summer to get out to Route 24. So you have to plan, if you're living on this side of Newport, you have to plan for a longer exit out of Newport, Rhode Island. So as we get to the tip of Bellevue Ave, there's a neighborhood, I call it the Ruggles Ave neighborhood. Some people would consider it the 5th Ward. This neighborhood has seen a lot of growth over the last 5 years. Over here, it's very private. There's pretty much all single family homes, and you can walk. There's a lot of walk. The roads back here tend to not be as busy, so you can walk to Gooseberry Beach, you can walk to Cliff Walk, and people love this area. I think this area from a McMansion or luxury building standpoint is going to increase. I mean, there was one that just sold on the corner here for $3.2 million. So this area is walkable to the bottom of Thames Street. And then you have the 5th Ward. Now the 5th Ward is right at the end of Thames Street. So a lot of people over here usually are here in the summer times, and then they'll rent their homes out to Salve. Salve Regina, the neighborhood that Salve Regina likes is going to be the Fifth Ward neighborhood because it's close to their campus. It's just got that reputation that a lot of their student rentals are over here. With the Fifth Ward, homes are very close together. You do have flood insurance over here in most parts of the Fifth Ward. So that may be a negative for people, but you have Kings Park that you can walk to. You can walk right to downtown. So this is a neighborhood, again, that you can walk downtown, enjoy the action, but also there's a lot of rentability here, okay? So that is an overview of Newport, Rhode Island. Now, I would say if I had to pinpoint the most private neighborhoods that you can buy in, I would say the most private neighborhoods that you would consider would be Ocean Drive, it would be the Ruggles Ave area, Bellevue Ave, Cliff Terrace right here, and Eustis Ave area. The areas that people like to rent in, or the most rentable areas, I would say are going to be the Fifth Ward, the Point, because a lot of people own summer homes over here. And those would be the two most, in my opinion, most rentable neighborhoods. Now, every home in Newport, depending on where it is, has an attraction at some price point. Your higher luxury rentals are gonna be on Bellevue and Ocean Drive. Now, those are gonna be your luxury rentals. So this gives you a really good understanding of what you can expect out of Newport. And because I know if you're coming into town, you don't really know these neighborhoods. I mean, that's a lot of neighborhoods to have here in such a small footprint. Thanks for joining us on our tour of Newport, Rhode Island. If you're looking for more information on Newport or any other areas in Rhode Island, all of my contact information is in the description below.